Hello, sports fans. Welcome to the Sports Story College Football Edition. Today, we're going to talk about changes needed now in college football. We have a lot of issues with college football right now, from teams being denied a shot at the playoffs to NIL to the transfer portal. Lots of things need to get fixed, and they need to be fixed now. You have players opting out of games, which is making games look ridiculous. Um, so bowl games as of right now mean nothing. And to people that say, well, they mean something to somebody, they might mean something to the guy that's not going to make it to the NFL, that is not looking to go and try and improve himself or make more money somewhere else at some other school. Because right now, that's the era we're in, is players looking out for themselves, looking to go somewhere else when they either don't get playing time, they feel they can make more money somewhere else, or they're going to try and go to the NFL. And right now, that's just where we're at. And the NCAA or somebody, the teams themselves, because the conferences can get this fixed pretty simple, have some rules in place, and make it so this is more of a professional type environment than what we have now. Right now, we have the wild, wild west. And that is the way it's going to be until someone steps up and starts to say something. There are some coaches that have started to say something. Um, Kirby Smart was talked about changes needing to be made. Kirk Ferentz talked about changes needing to be made. Josh Heupel talked about changes needing to be made. I'm sure there's been other coaches that have said some things. As of right now, with the way we have things going, college coaches probably have a lot more difficult time trying to keep a team together than any other coaching profession out there. College coaches in football, because you have kids that want to leave before the season's even over. The bowl games are part of the season, and when you have those commitments, then to the team, or you're supposed to have those commitments to the team, you should be with the team through the end. And right now, there's no system to keep kids in that, no system to keep them from leaving and walking out. NIL has played a big part in this because different schools can find something, some way, some donor to help cover that cost. I know the Big Ten is talking about revenue sharing with athletes. I have a feeling when this happens, a lot of players are not going to be happy, because now they're eventually going to be employees. And eventually, what I think is going to happen is they're going to end up having contracts. And they're going to have to sign a contract, and they're going to be tied to a school for X number of years, and they won't be able to leave. And I'm sure there'll be some sort of buyout in their contract, just like coaches do. So if another school decides, hey, we want him, then they could probably buy him out. But as of right now, until that gets fixed, and the college football is just going to be the wild, wild west, and bowl games aren't going to mean anything. One thing I think will help is a 12-team playoff next year. However, it's not perfect. We can sit here and say, well, yeah, the next team out is going to go, well, we should have been in. Here's a simple thing. You have set criteria. Okay, so you have this set criteria set up before the season even starts. Every other place has set criteria. You can have set criteria to get into the playoffs. Win your conference, you're in. Simple. Simple. If you don't win your conference, you have no reason to complain about anything. You had the opportunity. Now it's in someone else's hands if they're going to have the hand-picked things. Although with that, I think you still have set criteria. I don't think a one-loss team should be left out over a three-loss team gets put in. You lost 3 games, okay? You had the opportunity to win those games, and you didn't. You had a chance to beat those teams that beat you, and you didn't. Wins and losses have to matter. They have to be important. If they're not, the season's you just as well take 12 teams and say, here's the 12 teams we're going to have in the playoff. These are the ones that are going to play in it, and we'll just skip the rest of the season. Let's just play 12 teams in a playoff because the season means nothing. Florida State saw it this year. The season meant nothing. Nothing for them. 13-0. And it meant nothing. Wins and losses have to matter. I don't care if you're the best team, the worst team. There's so many teams in football, college football right now. You cannot sit here and go, well, they're the best team out of this conference, or two top 3 teams out of this conference to get in. No, they had the opportunity to be in their championship game, and they lost. They had that chance, and they lost. They didn't make it because, well, they lost. So wins and losses have to matter. If they don't, what type of system are we in? Well, let's just pick these teams. Well, I think that team's the better team. What? Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? Like, we're not predicting who's, going to win. This shouldn't be that. This should be criteria set and saying, if you meet this criteria, you are in. And right now, we don't have that. We have no criteria. We have nothing. We have nothing stopping students from leaving. We have none of that. It needs to get fixed. Changes need to be made now. And if not, college football is going to have a lot of problems keeping fans interested, especially at the end of the season or after their team loses, or if they're have a shot at the playoff or think they have a shot at the playoff, and then the wool gets pulled over their eyes and it's ripped out of their hands because some guys in a room decided, well, I realize you're undefeated, but you don't belong. It's ridiculous. And it needs fixed, and it needs fixed now. Otherwise, college football is going to have a lot of problems down the road. I've heard people talk about, we're going to have the Power 2. You do that, you're going to alienate a lot of people. We don't need a second professional league. It's not going to work. Professional leagues outside of the NFL have struggled. They have not brought in a ton of fans. And the same thing would happen with a professional league. I have heard a lot of people say that if this turns into a professional league type league and we just start like separating everything, I'll be turned off with football. And if they do that, it's done. What do you think makes the NCAA tournament so special? It's the fact that everybody gets a shot. Everybody has a shot to get there. Everybody gets a chance to get there. Now, is it the best way to do it with conference champions and or conference tournament champions? Probably not, because sometimes you have upsets and things like that, but at least you have a shot to get there. You have a chance to make the NCAA tournament. Right now, college football, 75% of the teams are done before the season starts. 75% of the teams are not getting in. Just a fact. Again, 12-team playoff, some automatic bids. Some teams are going to have a chance. But so now you got 50% that aren't going to have no chance of getting in. So it needs fixed. It needs fixed now. And until it does get fixed, there's going to be lots of problems, lots of transferring before the season ends. Bowl games are going to mean nothing. And so we need to have it fixed. And that's going to, like I said, it's probably going to upset some players because I think they're going to become employees and they're going to have contracts. I think that's where we're headed. So until next time, this is the Sports Story. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button or dislike. Leave a comment down below. And until next time, peace out.